The WNBA just approved something that could erase its biggest season ever.
The WNBA has got full power on calling a strike. Authorization from the WNBA players. WNBA statement regarding strike authorization vote. They had a vote, all right? The players had a vote, and they said basically that the WNBA can literally call a strike whenever they feel it's necessary.
A decision backed by 98% of players, made at the worst possible moment. And the wild part? Caitlin Clark saw this coming and tried to stop it. What's happening right now in women's basketball isn't just drama, it's self-sabotage. And the people claiming they're protecting the game might be the ones quietly burning it down. Let's rewind for a second. December 2025, the WNBA is writing the.
I don't know why we're still bringing up a toxic fan base. I thought it was so condescending to say that so many fans are just latching on to Caitlin Clark for reasons other than the basketball. And that is something that we just continue to see. It was also crazy because Katie Nolan at the end of this whole bit, she was like, yeah, I don't really watch that many games, but I'm keeping tabs on it. And it's like, that's the reason you had the take that you did. The reason that you had the take that you did is because you're not watching the games. You're not watching what's going on. You're not going to the games. And you clearly said that. You said, I'm a casual fan. I don't really watch the games, but I keep tabs on what's going on.
Highest momentum it's ever had. Record viewership, sold out arenas, corporate sponsors finally lining up. Team USA camp wrapped with nothing but positivity. Caitlin Clark, Paige Buchers, Angel Reese, all sharing the same floor, all thriving for the first time ever. Women's basketball didn't feel like it was asking for attention. It had it. And then a podcast clip detonated everything. Sue Bird, Megan Rapinoe, Katie Nolan.
So to single out, once again, like I said, in 2025, to target a group of fans felt like was very condescending. There was another point in the podcast where Sue Bird said that all of these new fans that came here, they immediately said that all of the players who came before Caitlin were trash. And that's just not true.
A conversation that wasn't clipped accidentally, not misunderstood, not taken out of context. This was the context. They framed millions of new fans. The same fans driving ratings, ticket sales, and relevance as the problem. That these fans weren't here for basketball, that they were toxic, that they were ruining the game. And here's the part nobody can ignore. Katie Nolan openly admits she doesn't even watch the games. Let that sink in. Someone who doesn't watch women's basketball is lecturing people who wake up at 2 a.m. in Germany to watch Indiana Fever games. Someone who can't name half the league is gatekeeping the fans who tripled attendance. That alone was bad. But then came the real bombshell. The WNBA Players Association quietly authorized a strike. 93% voter participation, 98% approval, a loaded gun, sitting on the table, right as the league finally hit mainstream relevance. And Caitlin Clark, she's the only star publicly saying what should be obvious. We have to play. We have to keep momentum. Both sides have to compromise. That's not anti-player. That's common sense. Because here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. You don't build leverage by canceling the product. People just fell in love with. Better contracts, deserved better travel, long overdue better marketing. Absolutely. But you know what kills all of that instantly? No season, no games, no viewers, no money. And while all of this is happening, the WNBA's social media has been messy, divisive, confrontational, and now holding the power to shut everything down. That power doesn't scare owners. It scares fans because fans have seen this movie before. Then came another moment that poured gasoline on the fire. The Indiana Fever released their 2026 calendar. No Caitlin Clark. Now, to be fair, this probably wasn't intentional. Likely image rights, marketing approvals, contract details, but the reaction matters. Fans didn't assume a mistake, they assumed disrespect. And that tells you everything about the current climate. When fans are conditioned to expect shade, even. Neutral decisions feel hostile. That's not healthy. That's not sustainable. And this is where the dominoes really start to fall. If negotiations stall, if egos harden, if someone on that executive committee decides to make a statement, the season gets delayed, or worse, canceled, casual fans disappear overnight. Sponsors pull funding instantly, media coverage collapses back into niche corners, and the players who suffer most? Not the veterans with podcasts and platforms, the rookies, the role players, the ones who finally had a spotlight. All collateral damage. Meanwhile, the same media, figures complaining about Caitlin Clark's coverage can't generate views without mentioning her name. They say she's taking up too much oxygen, but when she's not in the headline, they don't cover anyone else. If you want to talk about AJ Wilson's dominance, do it. If you want to highlight Breena Stewart, do it. If you want to celebrate Sabrina Ionescu, do it. The floor is yours. But those posts don't go viral. Those clips don't trend. So they default to Caitlin Clark. And when that works too well, they blame the audience. That's not journalism, that's resentment. Caitlin Clark has been reduced to content, a clickable object, not a 23-year-old, dealing with pressure, injuries, and scrutiny no rookie should carry. And yet she handles it with more grace than anyone should be expected to. Now stack everything together. Strike authorization, podcast backlash, calendar controversy, suspensions, media infighting, all during the league's best year ever. It's like the WNBA finally reached the mountaintop, and decided chaos was more entertaining than progress. And here's the real crossroads. One path leads to sustained growth, mainstream respect, and generational wealth for players. The other leads back to obscurity, and right now, the people with the loudest voices are sprinting toward the second path while yelling at fans to keep following them. Caitlin Clark sees it. Clearer than veterans twice her age. Play the season. Compromise. Keep moving forward. It's not revolutionary, it's responsible, but responsibility doesn't trend, drama does. And until that changes, women's basketball will keep fighting itself. Instead of growing. If this strike happens, if this season collapses, don't blame Caitlin Clark. Don't blame new fans. Blame the people who chose ego over progress. Because history won't be kind to that choice. And the clock is ticking.
When you're at the U16 team, I remember they always talk about the senior national team, and obviously that's every young girl's dream when you're on those teams. And they talk a lot about that team, and only like one or two of us was ever probably going to be able to get a call up to be on the team, or let alone be able to get a call up to come and be a part of the camp and be around the tremendous players that they have had on their teams over the course of the many years and the many gold medals that they've won. And so I think for myself, like, that's kind of what you start thinking about, is like how long I've kind of been involved in USA basketball and the journey that it's been. I've been on teams, and then I've had moments where I've been cut and I haven't been on teams. So you experience all of it, and I think that also speaks to how great USA basketball is and how dominant they are. Like, there's so many amazing players that have been a part of it and have worn the 3 letters across their chest. And for me, you never take that for granted. So I'm super excited to be back here and kind of kick off this next cycle.